When calculating percentages of something, it's useful to think of this multiplication as being of. So it's asking you for 10% of 600. Okay. So 10% of 600 just means we've got to divide 600 by 10. Another way to think about it is to think of this as being 0.1 times 600, in which case you can just do a simple opposite extension ladder strategy. But if we're thinking about 10% as being 1/10 or divided by 10, 600 divided by 10 is 60. 10% of 600 is 60. Now we've got 10% of 6,000. Again, whenever you've got 10%, you divide by 10. So 6,000, divide by 10. If you've forgotten how to divide by 10, it's all about moving the decimal point one place to the left. So 6,000 divided by 10, the decimal point moves along to here, and it becomes 600.0. Okay, so just divide by 10 to get 10%. 50% is half, so you could just do 50% of 70, half of 70. Or if you weren't too sure, you could do the 10% method again. So you could say, okay, 70 divided by 10 to get 10% is 7. And then we've got 5 lots of that 10%, 5 10% of 50%. So 7, 14, 21, 28, 35. Just a 7 times table. One more, using the 10% method. 25%, well, 25% is a quarter, so you might already know that you could just halve it and halve it again. So you could halve it to 1,000 and then halve that to 500. Or work out the 10% method. So here's 10% of 2,000 would be moving the decimal point back to there to be 200. That's 10%. So 20% would be 400. And 25% will be another half of the 200, so 500. Okay. So whichever way you prefer to do it, whether you look at the fraction or whether you whether you look at the percentage or whether you convert it into a fraction like a half or a quarter, or whether you do the decimal technique that I do, where I always work out 10% and then go from there. So for this one, I would say the number is 30. 10% of 30 is 3. So 20% of 30 is going to be 6.